and we're live. The second attempt to upload the video. I was doing a video, folks, and the phone rang. Anyway, welcome to the channel. Welcome to Andrew's 5-minute book reviews. I haven't done one for a while. I promised on the Sunday show, ranking the tracks, the masterpiece part 1 by the Beatles, Rubber Soul, to you guys that I would do something along the subject of the Beatles. I've picked, if you've seen the thumbnail, I don't have a hard copy, I only have it available in Kindle, an outstanding book called The Beatles and Their Revolutionary Bass Player by a guy called Dennis Alstrand. Originally came out in 2014, second edition updated in 2020. As we spoke about on Sunday amongst ourselves with Brad and the Rock Professor, we mentioned the fact that there's a lot of information coming out now on the Beatles, which is really, really good, and it's contradicting some of the stories and some of the fabrications that we've had, and it's reinforcing some of the stories and opinions that we've had. So that's great. It started obviously with one of the greatest musical authors, historians, a guy called Mark Lewisham, and many other authors on the subject of the Beatles. That's great. Dennis's book is in that same vein. What Dennis has done is in his introduction, he's interviewed a lot of people who are Beatles historians, Beatles nuts, and they know the subject, to present to us a lot of facts, which is really important, because when you're talking about a guy like Paul McCartney, you've got to have some facts. He talks about Paul's musical career a little bit, but more importantly, when he took over the role of playing bass, and outlines for us succinctly how Paul quickly mastered the bass instrument, going from playing the guitar for a long time, and how the bass sound changed over the period of the Beatles, Paul's technique, and it also discusses the instruments themselves, which is a big part of Paul's bass sound early on. So if you're interested in the facts and the details of Paul's bass playing techniques, not from a completely technical point of view, this is the book. In fact, I wish a lot of other books kind of approach the subject of guitars the way that Dennis has done it. Eventually I'll love to get a hard copy, but I fully recommend you reading this book. Obviously, if you're a bass player and a Paul McCartney nut, it's a given that you should read this book and study it. But if you want to appreciate the Beatles' sound and what they were trying to achieve and what they achieved in that small period, and Paul McCartney's contribution, not just as a songwriter, but as a bass player, as a musician in the band, this book is going to satisfy a lot of your interests in that field. Fully recommend it. Check it out. If you're watching the video, there'll be a link to part 2 on Rubber Soul that Brad, the Rock Professor, and I are going to talk about in a couple of days' time. Don't forget too that we're going to be going live on our channel with our Christmas show. If you want to be part of the Christmas show and join us, pop in and tell us about your year, hopes and aspirations for the year coming, you're more than welcome. We're going to stream for 6-8 hours across some time zones. be a great show. We've had some fun in the past doing this, and we look forward to doing that with you guys again. But yeah, please, if you're interested in the Beatles, Paul McCartney, the bass sound and how it contributed to the Beatles sound, this is the book for you. Cheers, Andrew.